In a digital era where attention is fleeting and authenticity is rare, some names don't just appear on your screen. They stay with you. Ona Wana is one of those names. Her presence on Instagram feels less like scrolling through content and more like stepping into a living story, one built on confidence, self-belief, discipline, and an unshakable vision. From the very first glance, her journey speaks to anyone who has ever dreamed of becoming more than what their circumstances once suggested. This is not just a model's biography. It is a cinematic rise of a woman who chose to define herself on her own terms. And if stories like this inspire you, now is the perfect moment to subscribe to Sweet Model's World, where powerful journeys, iconic faces, and untold stories of fashion influencers come alive every single week. Ona Wana did not emerge overnight, nor was her influence a product of luck alone. Long before her name became recognizable in fashion-focused feeds, she was a young woman learning to understand herself in a world that constantly tried to define beauty in narrow terms. Growing up, she was observant, quietly studying how people express themselves, how confidence could change a room, and how style could become a language of its own. Fashion, for her, was never just about clothing. It was about storytelling, identity, and freedom. Even in her earliest years, she carried a sense of individuality that made her stand out, not loudly, but unmistakably. As social media began transforming the fashion industry, Ona recognized an opportunity where others saw uncertainty. Instagram was no longer just a platform for sharing photos. It was becoming a stage for self-made icons. She approached it with intention, patience, and respect for her own evolution. Her early posts reflected experimentation rather than perfection. She explored silhouettes, moods, locations, and expressions, slowly shaping a visual identity that felt both aspirational and relatable. Each image carried a piece of her mindset at that moment, revealing growth rather than chasing instant validation. What truly set Ona Wana apart was her refusal to imitate. While trends came and went at lightning speed, she focused on developing a personal aesthetic rooted in elegance, confidence, and emotional presence. Her fashion sense balanced boldness with refinement, allowing her to appeal to a wide audience without losing authenticity. Followers didn't just admire her outfits, they connected with her energy. She projected the kind of confidence that didn't demand attention. It attracted it naturally. Behind the polished images was relentless discipline. Building a recognizable digital presence required consistency, planning, and resilience. Ona invested time in understanding lighting, angles, color harmony, and storytelling through visuals. She treated her platform like a professional portfolio, even before brands took notice. Every post was intentional, every caption thoughtful, and every collaboration aligned with her evolving brand. This level of focus transformed her page into more than a feed. It became a destination. As her audience grew, so did her influence. Brands began to recognize the value she brought, not just in reach, but in trust. Ona Wana represented a new generation of fashion influencers who understood that influence carries responsibility. She partnered selectively, choosing collaborations that matched her values and aesthetic rather than chasing every opportunity. This strategic approach elevated her credibility and positioned her as a serious figure in the fashion influencer space. Her rise wasn't without challenges. Like many creators, Ona faced moments of doubt, creative fatigue, and external pressure. The constant demand to stay relevant can test even the strongest mindset. Yet, she approached these moments with self-reflection rather than fear. Instead of forcing content, she allowed herself to evolve. She embraced breaks when necessary and returned with renewed clarity, proving that sustainability matters more than speed. One of the most powerful aspects of Ona Wana's journey is how she redefined success for herself. Rather than measuring achievement solely through numbers, she focused on impact. Her messages often centered on self-worth, confidence, and embracing individuality. She showed that fashion can be empowering without being superficial, and that beauty is amplified when it aligns with self-respect. This philosophy resonated deeply with followers who saw parts of their own journey reflected in hers. Visually, Ona's content tells a cinematic story. Urban backdrops, natural light, and carefully curated outfits create an atmosphere that feels both modern and timeless. Her expressions convey emotion without exaggeration, allowing viewers to interpret and connect. This subtle storytelling approach elevated her work beyond standard influencer content, positioning her as a visual narrator of contemporary femininity. As her platform matured, Ona Wana began influencing beyond fashion alone. She became a symbol of independence and creative control in a digital age. Her journey illustrated that you don't need to fit into predefined boxes to succeed. By staying true to herself, she attracted opportunities that aligned naturally with her path. This authenticity became her strongest asset, inspiring aspiring models and creators to prioritize identity over imitation. Her ability to balance accessibility with aspiration is another defining trait. While her lifestyle content reflects growth and success, it never feels detached or unreachable. She maintains a sense of groundedness that makes her story believable and motivating. Followers don't just admire her achievements, they believe they can pursue their own versions of success too. Ona's influence continues to evolve as she explores new dimensions of creativity. Whether through fashion campaigns, personal projects, or collaborations, she approaches each phase with intention. She understands that longevity in the digital space requires adaptability without losing core values. This awareness keeps her relevant in an industry that constantly reinvents itself. What makes Ona Wana's biography truly compelling is not just what she has achieved, but how she achieved it. Her story is a reminder that consistency beats hype, authenticity outlasts trends, and self-belief can transform ordinary beginnings into extraordinary outcomes. She didn't wait for permission to be seen. She created her own space and invited the world to witness her growth. In a world saturated with content, Ona stands as proof that depth still matters. Her journey encourages viewers to slow down, reflect, and pursue excellence with patience. She embodies the idea that fashion is not just worn, it is lived, felt, and expressed through confidence and purpose. Today, Ona Wana continues to inspire a global audience, not by trying to be perfect, but by being real. Her evolution remains ongoing, shaped by curiosity, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to self-expression. Each new chapter adds to a story that feels both personal and universal, reminding us that the most powerful influence comes from embracing who you truly are. If this story resonated with you, if you believe in the power of transformation and authentic success, make sure you're part of Sweet Model's world. Subscribe, stay inspired, and continue discovering the journeys of models and fashion influencers who are shaping the future, one story, one vision, and one bold step at a time.